How birthday? I was shy. Like South by Donald. Like South by saying double honors to the elders of GMS and on the street brothers have been pushing this truth and sincerity. And it's gonna be like kind of like a response to the order that Elder Tahar put out the video on this this geezer, this man, what's his name? Michael Sam, right? And pretty much with that, you're going to go into the first scripture, which is going to be the law on homosexuality, what the scriptures is prescribed as concerning homosexuality, right? And pretty much what this man is doing is as a systematic approach to breaking down, you people out there, right? Now, the information I wanted to find and bring out as pertaining to the subject, I was unable to find the information. But a while back, I ran across some information, right, some writing about the system or the process that this man is, pretty much doing, and what he basically wants to do with you people, and that's basically he basically wants to own you people, hence the mark of the beast, pursuant to the scriptures, which is the chip, right? And also he wants to, he basically wants to make all of you individuals hermaphrodites, which is half man, half man, half women. That's why you're seeing a lot of women right now. They're doing the thing where they shave their head, the side of the hair off, right? A lot of the water you're drinking has got a high level of estrogen in it. That's why these men, what you call men, right, which they ain't men, right? The Most High across in the scriptures it says, if you got it on, you got it, yeah. You're gonna pull that out. Let me pull out a few scriptures that I'm thinking off the top of my head, right?
This is Leviticus 20, chapter 20, verse 12. And if a man lie with his daughter-in-law, both of them.
Is it 13?
Sorry, 13. I said you read from 12.
You can read from 12. Yeah, you can read from 12. No, goes to the point.
Levi chapter 20, verse 13. And if a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination.
Break it down.
They shall surely be put to death, their blood shall be upon them. Basically, self-explanatory. A man lying out with another man is an abomination, pertaining to the scriptures, and vice versa. And shouldn't be. It's something that you can see in the society today that is common amongst, is more prevalent rather nowadays, and being socially acceptable to be a homosexual. And as we read there in Leviticus chapter 20 verse 13, that this stuff is not acceptable in the kingdom, essentially all these people need to be put to death, as far as I'm concerned, as far as the Bible is concerned,
Right. Now the precept I haven't quite found the precept I was looking for. It was at the top of my head. It was as concerning that the tabernacles of the Most High. There we go. The tabernacles of the Most High is with men. Now a lot of these men that these big bulky dudes that you see a lot of times you go to the gym where you're working out. A lot of these big bulky dudes they're feminine, man. Most of that, the scripture says it in Corinthians where it talks about no, that the Most High, the Most High is not gonna be the scripture's slipping me right now where it talks about basically the Most High not dealing with these feminists, right? Most of them, these people, these men, right? These so-called men is coming out that a lot of these men are so-called homosexuals, man, right? Of which the Most High ain't dealing with that. Now you're gonna go to the 29th chapter, Isaiah the 29th chapter and the 16th verse, right? And that basically is gonna show you that the Most High has got it to where this man is basically turning the world upside down, right? And then he's fitting his own program, his own way of life, of which Esau's the elders have always brought it out, man. Esau is a flaming mob, man, right? Hey, like a lot, it's gonna sound more like it's gonna make this video sound more like a rant than anything else. But like me and this brother have been into organized sports all of our life, man. You play American football. I've been into basketball all my life, right? You go into a lot of these gyms, man. A lot of these dudes, especially Esau, man. Right? Esau is a flaming monk, man. What man has the audacity to take off his clothes in front of another man?
It's true.
right? I don't, man, I don't, and that's why sometimes when you go to the gym, man, you know, I try to keep myself to myself as much as I physically can, man, because you don't know what the hell is going through these Edomites' minds, right? But now he's pushing that, you know, he's been pushing that agenda forward, right? And he's been pushing it forward, and you see it in your TVs and so on and so forth, right? He's pushing it, you know, to your children, right? Like they have this big thing whether they should be teaching homosexual education to young children in America, right? Just children, man. What the hell do they know about that, man? Right? And more so than that, it's an abomination before the Most High. Right? Now you got the scripture, bro.
Yeah. This is Isaiah the 29th chapter, verse 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of that framed it, he had no understanding?
Right? And that's talking about the fact that Esau's coming out here and setting up his own order, right? It's also, scripture also talks about him changing the times and so on and so forth, which goes to cut you, Nick, of which you're saying the Sabbath falls on, you know, Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, right? The Most High has already prescribed it in the scriptures that the Esau is going to come and he's going to turn the whole world upside down, right? Right? So even that your Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, that's incorrect. Of which, you know, the scripture shows you that the scripture shows you that, you know, the Sabbath is supposed to fall within in accordance to the new moons, right? Now, this is the scripture. This is 1 Corinthians 6:9. It says, "Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High?" So all of that's all unrighteous. That's all abomination unto the Most High. So them dudes ain't gonna inherit the kingdom, right? And it says, "The kingdom of the Most High, and be not deceived, neither fornicators, right, nor idolatrous, right, nor adulteress, right." So but you ain't gonna make it because you're sleeping with other brothers' women, right? Right? It says, "Nor effeminates," right? Now that word's deep. Now this is Strong's G's is that now this doesn't go into it as I wanted to, right? But that word basically goes to a lack of faith, man. That goes to the fact that a lot of these dudes haven't got a lot of faith. All of these effeminate dudes, a lot of them, they don't believe in the Most High, because if they believed in the Most High, they wouldn't be doing that fight with you, man. Right? Now, it said, the word effeminate goes back to feminine, right? Right, also, which goes back to a lack of faith. Now, that's hence the reason why I couldn't find it, because that word effeminate actually has got a root word underneath that going back to feminine. Right, and feminine means basically pertains to having a lack of faith, and we know women ain't got no faith, right? Because when Job was catching all of that hell, right, what does this woman say to him? He said, "Go curse the Most High," right? So the Most High can kill you and you die, man. Right, so that goes to show you what these dudes are like, man. Right, but then Esau has stepped it up another level, man. That's why it got like it says in the scripture, like it says in the scripture, "Behold, the devil's going to come down having a great wrath," man. He's coming down with great wrath, and he's revealing all these different individuals, basically to break down you break down your effeminate Negroes, right? Now you see a lot of these big dudes, man. You know, you might go out sometimes, you know, have a few drinks. You see these big dudes, all of these soft pink shirts, man. I've done seen a dude that's like 3, 4, 5 the size of me, right? He's about my height, but he's 3, 4, 5 the size of me. The dude was literally wearing a blouse, man. He was literally wearing a woman's dress, man, a woman's shirt. Right, his chest is all showing out and everything. Now you got muscle, but for fuck's sake, man, you're wearing a woman's clothing, man, which the scripture says you ain't supposed to be doing, man. But like I said, Esau's bringing out now on a higher level. Now you got these sports. So now you had it to where Kanye West is wearing all of these all of these dresses and so on and so forth, right? And guess what? The people followed suit, right? Now you got it to wear these equivalent, right, which would be these sports stars and so on and so forth, is openly homosexual. Now you're gonna see the people follow suit, right?
Basically, paving the way.
Exactly, paving the way, right? Making it a standardized means of living, right? And that goes back to the document, man. It slipped me, man. But it goes heavy into the fact that how Esau was gonna basically take away the morals of the people, right? Whether it be scriptural, of which the main people pushing the scriptures is the house of GMS, man. Right, pushing the fact that you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans are the children of the Most High, that you ain't supposed to be doing all that faggotry madness, right? And you're supposed to be eating a certain way, right? Because that's all goes back to the scriptures, man. The scriptures tells you what you should and shouldn't do with your body, man. What you should eat, what you shouldn't eat, what you should sleep with, and what you shouldn't be sleeping with, man. You should be sleeping with another man if you're a man. You should be sleeping with another woman if you're a woman. You shouldn't be sleeping with cats and dogs. You see, Esau sleeps with cats and dogs and animals and all that kind of shit, man. Right? Ham sleep with these fucking Africans. They sleep with the ground. Right? I done seen the program, man. One part of his bar mitzvah was fucking Earth, right? Which goes back to Mother Earth and all of that bullshit, man. Right? Now you got the next precept. Scripture. Yeah. Right.
This is Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people.
Right. And that's going back to the scripture I just pulled out before that, which is 2 Corinthians, the 6th chapter and the 9th verse, where it talks about basically, right, the fact that the Most High ain't gonna be dealing with these effeminates, right? He ain't gonna be dealing with these feminine dudes, man, right? When you go back into Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, right, and on down, the first thing it says, if I can remember the scripture properly, right? So like I'm trying to remember the precept. It says saying to the effect of, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted it. You ain't gonna see no homosexual standing boldly for the word of the Most High, man. Right? That's why you gotta, that's why the Most High is gonna destroy these dudes. But not only that, because it's against the scriptures, man. Right? The boldness that we're gonna come out here with is first and foremost comes from Yahweh, but it comes from the fact that the Most High is dealing with men, man, not women, not halfway in between both, man. Right? You wanna carry on reading that.
O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err.
Right. So the leaders of these people, these are the musicians, right? So we can start off from the top, the spiritual leaders, right, which is the pastors, the teachers, and so on and so forth. Even amongst Israel, right? Nate, Gehenna, Zabak, right? All of these dudes are going off in the scriptures, man. But not only that, they're adulterers, right? Zabak is an adulterer. They're idolatrous. But they're talking about Christ. Christ is an idol, man. The name of the Most High and His Son is Yahweh Sai, man. Those are the true names of the Most High and His Son, man. Right? Christ is an image. That's an idol, man. When you think of Christ, I think of Caesar Borgia, man. Right? And just like it says in the scriptures in 1 Corinthians 6 chapter 9 verse, the Most High ain't dealing with them people, man. Right? They're gonna be destroyed. Right? And like it says here, the leaders of the people of the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, they're gonna be destroyed, man. Right? Because they're going up in the scriptures, right? And even when you have the men of the Lord out here, right? They don't take heed to the men of the Lord. Now you want to carry on reading that, right? You want to carry on reading that because I got a precept for that.
O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. The Lord standeth up to plead and standeth to judge the people.
Right, that's gonna be it, I think. Right, and I was going to prove to you that these dudes, man, right, a lot of them, like it says here, children are their oppressors, right, and women rule over them, because it all goes back to the black woman. Man. That dude was probably raised by a single black woman, a strong black woman, right, and this is what she brings forth, man. Right, you go back a couple of generations back in the day, man, when the man was in charge. Going back to, like you said a little bit earlier when we was discussing before the video, right? Willie Lynch syndrome, right? The Esau has effectively broken down the black household, right? Most of the night he's put the women in power. Going back to what the scripture says in Isaiah the 13th chapter and about the 12th verse, and this is the fruit of that, man. These effeminate men, these homosexual men. Right, and he's a lesbian girls. And like I said, like I've been telling this problem for the last couple of weeks, man. That's all I be seeing these days, man. Right, especially of the black women, man. Now you see these white women, of which, according to General Yohana, you ain't supposed to be dealing with these white women. Well, you a faggot then, right? You see these nice white women, man. They be having a nice ass, man. Got their old hair all nice and shit. They ain't shaved the side of their hair or nothing like that, man. Right, and they're real feminine. Right, that's sexy, man. That's attractive. You're telling me the Most High is gonna make that and I can't deal with it, right? The only reason I shouldn't be dealing with that is that if that's this brother's woman or another brother's woman, man. Now if it's an Edomite male's woman, guess what? When time comes, his head's gonna be chopped off, and I'm gonna have that nice piece of something for spoil, man. Right? Now this is Proverbs, the first chapter, and I'm gonna go to the 7th verse. It says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction." So that man is a fool, man. Because he hates wisdom and instruction, because everybody knows, going back to the scriptures, that he ain't supposed to be doing. Right? And I'm gonna jump down to the 20th verse. Right? It says, "Wisdom crieth without." This is Proverbs, the first chapter, on the 20th verse. "Wisdom crieth without." Right? "She uttereth her voice in the streets." Now, this is one of my favorite scriptures. I bring this out all the time. Right? The fact that wisdom crieth out within the streets. And I cuss this guy Isaiah, this dude that done falling out the main camp for JMS. Right? Man, it would be a blessing for me to see the elders before I die. Right? That's the way I see it, man. If I'm gonna die tomorrow, it'll be if I can see the elders before that would be a blessing to me, man. Right? Because that's the pinnacle of understanding, right? On this side, right? Now, obviously, your house side is on top of that, and the Most High is on top of that, right? But the scripture says it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the Most High. Do I want to be seeing the Most High? Such a terrible power? Yes, in one sense, but really, that's the point I'm making here is if I had to die tomorrow, man, that's the peak of it. That's what you would be aspiring to. And this dude done fell off. He done fell off the main camp, right, out of the head, which goes to show you he was bugged up, man. So every day I pray Hawaii outside keeps my mind sane, because anyone can fall out with the truth like that, right? Now he's talking about not going out in the streets, right? And what's this guy? 14th Street Israelites talking about not going out in the cold and all of that, and not going out in the winter, right? That's because they're effeminate, and that's why it says there in the scriptures, "Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets," right? "She crieth in the chief places of concourse." Which is the chief places of concourse, right? The shopping malls, right? Which is not really the shopping malls, it's more the outside, like the elders have been going heavy into it, right? It's about the marketplace, which is, when you go back in history, the marketplace wasn't really these buildings, but that's Esau's invention, right? Because these buildings remind him of a more pleasant time when he was in the caves, man. That's why this whole society is built like a cave, man. Turn it on this. Right? These caves and crevices, that's Esau's thing. When you go back whether it be the mobile tradition, whether it be Ham, whatever, the marketplaces were outside, man. And what did you get when people were commercial and trading goods? It's the debate, man. Right? This is the debate, biblical principles or philosophies or whatever it was, man. Right? That's why it says here, "She crieth in the chief places of concourse, and the openings of the gates she uttereth her voice, saying, How long, you simple ones," right? "How long, you simple Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans? How long are you gonna elevate, right, abomination like that, right? Of which you're gonna get a lot of guys, but right? The truth is the truth, whether you like it or not, man. Right? It says, "How long, you simple ones, are you gonna love simplicity? How long the scorners gonna delight in scorning, in their scorning, and the fools hate knowledge?" How long is these simple Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans gonna elevate that as the precipice you aspire to, man? Right? Because that's what a carnal man aspires to. He wants to be as rich as this guy was, right? Wear the same clothes as this dude wears, driving the same car. This guy's a flaming mob, man. Right? Which goes to show you that but then here's the funny thing, right? Like, and we was talking about this before the video started, man. His mannerisms, that looks like just a regular dude in the NBA, man. That goes to show you all of these guys in the NBA and in the NFL and all of these leading these so-called high things to aspire to. They're all faggots, man. They're all homosexuals, man. And sooner than later, they're gonna show their true colors.
Yeah, no doubt. There's a plethora of athletes out there who are also gay. I'm sure of it. The fact that the only reason why this is being so heavily publicized is the fact that he's the first openly gay player to come out and say what I am. But there's no 100%. I'm sure that there are people in that environment, whether it be basketball, football, or whatever sport you're playing. I say about maybe 90%, 95%.
Well, first and foremost, you're gonna bow down to these Edomites for you to make it out there like that, right? Of which they presented the same thing to to comedians. Dave Chappelle, they presented that to him, right? He said, "No, man, I'm funnier than the dress." Like I said, they slowly introduced that to you, and I saw what's this new guy on the scene, Kevin Hart, right? He first and foremost, you saw him in the dress. Now you saw it on, he's got his show, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you had Shaquille O'Neal literally banging the dude, man.
And it's funny that because it was right after he had gained some success.
Yeah.
And it was like,
yeah, exactly. So you get addicted to this success, and they present you it. Before you go here, this is what you're gonna do.
People start recognizing his name.
Yeah.
Before you know it, put him in the dress sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. And to get bigger and more so, you're gonna do all kind of weird sexual acts, man.
Because they know once they're in the public eye, they know that a lot of people, it seems, they say, oh, well, Dave Chappelle's in the dress, so it must seem normal. Do you know what I mean? They're just normalizing stuff that is an abomination, as pertaining to the Bible.
Right, exactly, right. It says, turn you at my reproof, and behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you, right? And it says, I'll make known my words unto you, right? And then, because I have called, and ye have refused, and I stretched out my hand, and no man regarded, but ye have shut at not all of my counsel. And that's what the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans do, right? They set at naught of the people, they set at naught the counsel of the Most High. And you're going to go to the last precept, which is going to be Zechariah, the 13th chapter, and the 8th verse, right? And I'll finish this up. And it says, turn you at my reproof, and behold, I'll pour out my spirit unto you, and I'll make known my words unto you. And it says, because I have called, and you refused, and I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded, right? But ye have set at naught all of my counsel, and will none of my reproof. And it says, I will laugh at your calamity, and I'll mock when your fear cometh. So we're going to laugh at your calamity, man. We're going to mock when your terror comes. Especially the people that take the piss out of the man of the Lord, man. Especially when we're out here, because, you go out there, right? You go through all of the hell that you go through all throughout the whole of your day. You still come out here through the spirit outside to push this truth, right? And, you still get scorners, man. And it says, this is what the Most High said. It said, I will laugh at your calamity. I'll mock when your fear coming. So we're going to mock when your fear coming. So any scorner that has a problem with this video or so on and so forth, right, which has a problem with the elders and what the elders say about it as pertaining to this situation or any of the brothers, right, when your destruction comes, right, you're going to laugh at that. And we're literally the men that make it, which I pray and I beg you, I'll make it, right? Even if I got to die the first time around, fuck it. Whatever's going to happen, man. Right, for me to be, on them chariots, man. Whatever has to happen for me to be in them chariots, when the missiles come, right, let that be done, right. It says, and that's when brothers gonna be looking down and laughing, man. Right, oh, they go so and so and so forth. Remember, he was laughing. Right, I got the last laugh now, right. It says, I'll also laugh at your calamity, and I'll mock when your fear comes. It says, when your fear cometh as a desolation, and your destruction cometh on you as a whirlwind. And that goes to Esau as well, and all of his goods, because a lot of the time Esau be looking down on man as well, man. And knows these, in all of the facets, all the different facets of our life, right? Cometh on you as a whirlwind, and when your distress and anguish cometh upon you, right? And then shall they call upon me, right? But I will not answer. So you're gonna remember the name of the Lord in that day, right? But the Most High ain't gonna answer, right? And they shall seek me early, but they shall not find me, right? So they hated knowledge, right? They hated the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the 613 laws, statutes, commandments, of which we read one of them, right? They hated it, right? And it says, where am I reading? It says, for they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord, right? They will none my reproof, they despise all of my reproof. Therefore shall they eat off the fruit of their own ways, and they shall be filled in their own devices. Right, and it says, for the turning away of the simple, right, you simple Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and especially the ones that are going to be still in support, right? The turning away of your simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of the fools shall destroy them, right? And that's pretty much it. I'm going to read from there. And you want to finish up on Zechariah 13 and 8, please?
Yeah, this is Zechariah 13, chapter verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die.
Right, that's why the Most High is coming to destroy 2/3 of the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. Right? Because you follow and uplift that. And also he says in the scriptures, right, folly is second grade. This man is a fool, man. Right? And you're going to have a lot of Negroes, Hispanics, oh, yeah, that's so, especially these black ass women, man. Especially these Negro women, man. Right? They're going to be in support of that. Go on.
But the third shall be left therein.
Right, so the 1/3 is going to be left in, of which I pray outside. I'll be part of that 1/3, right? Now, you got anything else you wanted to add to that, bro?
Just Literally, man, simple as plain as can be, just death to all, you know, homos out there, man, faggots, man. That shit can't run, man. You know, it's a disgusting trait, it's a disgusting
Right.
habit. It goes against nature. The reproduction process is just a disgusting thing, man. And yeah, man, just death to all of this stuff. Death to this kingdom, and that's my piece. That's my thought.
Right, with that, we're gonna sign out. We say double honors to the elders of GMS, unless your brothers will be pushing this truth with sincerity. And we'll see you on the next one, man. Shalom.
So.